the FBI that existed as recently as 20 years ago, has been itself transformed. It is no longer independent at all, and it no longer has agents who will speak up, even if they're talking to the FBI director, and say, look, that may not be a good path or a good decision. Perhaps we should consider something different. The FBI I was in was highly agitated when decisions like this came along, and everybody had a voice. And fortunately, we worked at a time when people listened to each other. That's not happening now. And I've never said this publicly, but I'll just tell you right now because it just sickens me to watch and listen to Merrick Garland. Because Merrick Garland was in charge of the prosecution at DOJ of the Unabomber. And I have to tell you something. He would not recommend to the AG that our search warrant to get into Theodore Kaczynski's cabin be approved. He and his group of attorneys had us working till 2 or 3 in the morning of April 3rd, and finally the AG, Janet Reno, along with Louis Freeh, they stepped in, they approved the search warrant anyway. Now that was a case where we had bombs on airplanes, we had threats to blow up airplanes in midair, we had people killed with bombs for 18 years. He wouldn't do anything. He would not recommend to the AG that we get into that cabin on April 3rd. He didn't see the urgency then, and he didn't seem to care about agents being up all night trying to get ready for that. But on this is how he handles this. We have what was the last count? 75, perhaps. I'm sure that's real lowball of potential people who are terrorists. They were on the terror watch list. They're in America today somewhere. The FBI has no idea where they are. Christopher Wray could not tell us last week where the Hunter Biden laptop is or if the FBI still has it. But we might have, and I say this very passionately because I also worked counterintelligence for years in the FBI. We may very well have our own highest level of government penetrated by Chinese agents. And the evidence is certainly on the surface, and the patterns are there. I've worked this stuff. I know what it looks like, and many agents feel this way. And yet, we're going to go after record retention violations, which are misdemeanors. It really makes you ill, and it's really made many of us feel very passionate and very sick about what's going on with the Bureau.
So, Terry, you were an agent that did the Unabomber case, and you're saying Merrick Garland wouldn't sign off on a warrant to raid the Unabomber, but signed off on a warrant to raid Trump? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I was there. I was leading the Unabomb task force. We fought all night on April 2nd with the group of attorneys that were included in making recommendations based on what they were reading of all the hundreds of pages we were sending them. And they would not recommend to Janet Reno that she should sign off on this search warrant. She did that on her own. Merrick Garland, I don't know exactly what he was voicing, but he has all over his literature. Don't believe me, just look at the bio. I was in charge of the Unabomb prosecution from DOJ.
Wow.
And by the way, I can tell you this. He never spoke to me once. I've never met the man. But I was on a plane all day, up all night, and there that morning with the judge to get that warrant signed. So I'm sickened by this. And what this is, and I want to make sure I make this quick. I know you got to go, but people need to sit back and not look so much at this as an isolated event. This is the revolution, the real revolution that is going on in America. It's been going on for several years. The people in power are moving America towards the communist ideology type place. People today were all really concerned. There's no precedent in America for this. Well, no, there isn't. They're looking in the wrong place. The precedent is in the Cuban Revolution, the Russian Revolution, and everywhere a communist government has eventually taken over. They go after their political enemies, and they use the police state mentality to do it. And I am really ripped about this, and I hope and pray over the next weeks that many other FBI agents who used to be there will come out and add their voices to it. I know a lot of people are, but not near enough, Jesse.
Yeah. They want to defund the police, but not the police state. Thank you so much for your service.
'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that